turkey bacon for breakfast and fish for dinner. Charlie, a member of his high school debate team and a serious bacon enthusiast, finally called his mother out on what he referred to as selective reasoning. We're still killing and eating what were once living creatures. Fish, turkey, a pig. Can you please explain the difference? He said sadly while holding up a limp piece of turkey bacon. Fish and turkeys don't have eyelashes. Once you've had Wilbur the pig bat his eyes at you on your way to pick up his cousin's maple-smoked rump, it changes things, Charlie's mother responded in her defense. By the following Easter, her disturbing encounter at the farm had faded from memory, at least somewhat. But she did start having Mr. Bartles deliver his Easter hams to the Puddles household on Good Fridays, to avoid any future guilt-provoking barnyard run-ins. Mr. Bartles was long dead, and those maple-smoked hams were a thing of the past. But Isabel was adamant that a baked ham should still be the cornerstone of any Easter dinner, this year and every year. So she walked into the Land's End that morning determined to steer Frances away from a potential culinary calamity. But it turned out her Easter menu was not top of mind for Frances, who remained hidden behind her newspaper until Isabel sat down, and she collapsed the paper into her lap. Harold Stover's dead. Whenever she picked up the morning newspaper, Frances turned to the obituaries the way some people might turn to the comics, and with about the same level of enthusiasm. She had somehow managed to turn longevity into a competition, and she liked to know where she stood at all times. What do you mean he's dead? A shocked Isabel asked. I mean he's no longer living, Frances clarified. But I just saw him at the bank a few days ago, Isabel said, still stunned by the news. We said hello and had a nice chat. He looked the picture of health. Well, that picture faded, Frances said casually. But how? Doesn't say. Had to be something very sudden. We would have heard if he'd been ill. Isabel shook her head sadly. Harold Stover owned a local flooring company and was a well-known businessman in Kentwater County. He and Isabel had been in 10th grade algebra together. Kayla arrived with coffee, flipped Isabel's cup over onto its saucer, and began to pour. Morning, Izzy. So do you think Harold's wife did him in? Isabel's jaw dropped open. Where in the world did you come up with that? She then followed Kayla's eyes across the table to Frances. Are you spreading that ridiculous rumor around, Frances Spittler? Have you met that woman? She's as cold as they come, and according to my sources, she's having an affair with one of Harold's employees, Frances offered, as though cold-blooded premeditated murder were a foregone conclusion. She's not my favorite person, Isabel admitted. I did see her reduce a bag boy at Kroger to tears recently because he gave her paper when she asked for plastic. But that doesn't make her a murderer. You really shouldn't be making such wild accusations with no basis in fact. Can't let facts get in the way of a good story, Frances replied with a chuckle. You shouldn't be making light of his death either. Poor Harold, Isabel scolded. He used to come in here from time to time. Such a nice man, Kayla said sadly. Isabel was ready to lighten the mood. Can we please talk about something more pleasant, like maybe the menu for Easter dinner? Wasn't that the plan? Now, I assume I'm bringing my usual deviled eggs and banana pudding for dessert. Frances reached into her purse and pulled out a paper clipping. Yes, please, and here's what I want to do for our main course. Isabel took out her reading glasses and reached for the clipping. Pheasant à l'orange? Seriously, Frances? Hank shot 6 of them last season, and they've been out in my garage deep freezer ever since. I think, out of respect for the birds, the least we can do is eat them, don't you? I agree with the sentiment. If you're somebody who gets their kicks out of shooting such beautiful birds, you should eat them or give them to somebody who will. But not for Easter dinner. Why not? Too fancy? Maybe it's time those hayseed in-laws of mine stepped outside the box. Depends what they're stepping into, Frances. How many are coming for dinner? Oh, I don't know. 10, maybe 12 this year? They keep reproducing. Isabel took a breath and shrugged. I've never cooked pheasant.